Freaks, orcas, and angels. Welcome to this week's reading vlog where I mood read. So first up, I will be inserting footage of when I did my little tarot shuffle so you can see which tarot card prompt I included for this reading vlog. Okay, we've got Saturday morning goblin mode Chanel here, still in my PJs because I don't know about you guys, but if I don't have to leave my house, I don't get dressed. Rather not waste the spoons. I'm just here to do the tarot pull. So I have a rainbow on my face. So today I'm using a deck that I made. I call it the Deathly Flowers Tarot. It's a Persephone themed deck. Let's get shuffling, see what card I pull, and let's find a book live. Okay, so we've got a card. Let's see. So the card I pulled is the Ace of Water, and I have the word agape in the corner, which is a Greek word because it's to do with love. So for those who are interested, agape means the highest form of love, selfless, sacrificial, and unconditional. Love transcends and persists regardless of circumstance. So the Ace of Cups is normally an offering of love. Let's see what the prompt is for this card. So the Ace of Cups is a mood read. Look, I'll change it since I've already done a card similar, like pick a book of your choice. Because this whole vlog is me mood reading. I might change that prompt since I'm now changed the way I use these cards. So let's pull another one because yeah, I'm just mood reading the rest of the books. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Water as the card pull. So the Eight of Water is also known as the Eight of Cups. So the prompt for this, I had to laugh, is pick a cover I hate. So I'm going to look at my TBR on Goodreads and pick the fuggliest cover that I can. Okay, so let's have a look. These are all fine. Anything jumping out at me so far? Look, the Temptation of Magic, that's a bit basic. That's not really doing a lot for me, so there is that one. Lost Boy's not great either. I think Lost Boy is my least favorite so far. I'm not a fan. I don't really like Abby Jimenez covers, but that's not out. That book is not out. Oh, it's very retro, but I probably, Tori Amos, that's for a Kate's collection one, so even though I don't like that cover, that's not applicable. Jenny Slate's Life Form. I don't really like that either. The Temptation of Magic and Lost Boy, which is the ugliest cover? Let me know down below which one you thought was the worst. Oh my God, I'm so close. Let's get up close and personal. So yes, that is my pick for, where's the card? That's not the one. The Eight of Cups. And now we're back. I have read some books. I am in my pajamas. This is the theme of this vlog so far. We're running with it. So I decided to start this week off by being easy on myself and by reading very teeny tiny little mini itty bitty short stories. The first one is called Breathing Constellations and it's by Rich Larson. So this was a very sweet and short story set in the future about humans and orcas, and the humans have developed a device that allows them to verbally communicate with the orcas. It's in a world that seems to have a lot of famine and they are wanting to parley with the orcas to perhaps allow the humans to harvest some plankton to eat. And I would say that the relations between the humans and the orcas are tense. Because it's such a short story, I don't want to talk much about the plot, but I guess the main themes of this story are communication, respecting customs, and being vulnerable. Perhaps a lot to do with empathy and understanding. I gave it a 3 stars. It was fine. It was sweet and cute, but it lacked a bit of oomph. The next short book I picked up was Free Little Library by Naomi Kritzer. I gave this a 4 stars. This is about a woman who decides to start a little library, and she finds that her books are being taken, and in return she's getting little notes and little treasures, and it turns out that perhaps her library might end up being a portal to another place, and she might end up getting more than just a book in return. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was fun and interesting and memorable. I think if you like little libraries and the movie The Borrowers and sparrows. You'll enjoy this. I'm going to move. I feel like I'm too in the sun. No, I'm not. So I'm shining a light. Blue's about to go nuts. She's going to go for that light over there. Yeah, there she goes. I knew it. She loves to chase the light. I'm sorry, babes. I'll be done in a minute. Oh, I feel so bad. The next book I read was an ARC from NetGalley. So this is called Freakslaw by Jane Flett. It's 1997 and the freak show has arrived in a small town in Scotland. They're ready to stir up trouble and vengeance on behalf of all those who have been wronged. The outsiders, the queer, the disabled, the foreign, the freaks, just like them. So basically, yes, you have a band of freaks, freak show circus thing. You know, you've got a lady, the pin lady, who's full of piercings and swallows swords and pierces herself. You've got the fortune teller, you've got the werewolf man. So there is magic though involved. These aren't just people that are considered freakish by their nature. They do also wield some kind of magic. They've come to this town to right the wrongs that have been done to people that were like them. Now, this book has very flowery writing. I don't mind that. I think some people might be put off by that. The issue that I had with it was that there were so many POVs. So at the start of the book, you're given a list of characters and I'm like, okay, is this giving you a heads up on who's in the novel, or is this telling you all the POVs you're going to get? It's all the POVs you're going to get. So there's so many. And I felt like all of the normies, so all of the townies, their POVs were not necessary. I didn't like those characters. I couldn't care less. It was boring. It slowed the book down. I was here for the freaks, okay? For my people. Now, this is a lewd and crude book, okay? It's dirty, it's savage. You're talking about wet panties and 6-month-old harvested period blood clots seeping into the earth from page 15. I liked it. I felt like it could have gone further. I wanted more, whether that's more horror, more sex, more depravity, more violence. I just wanted more. I wanted it to go there. It didn't go there. It towed the line. Okay, I still think some people might find it off-putting with its visceral, dirty, disgusting, primal kind of nature, but I wanted more. So I was thinking, oh, what's going to happen in this? I was riveted. I thought things are going to really kick off. They're talking about vengeance. They're talking about blood sacrifice to make penance for what was done to the people who burned at the stake here however many odd years ago. It didn't go there. So I wanted it to be darker and grittier and grimier. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I've given it a 3 stars. I still thought it was interesting, but like I said, I think it could have dropped some of the POVs, especially of the normal folk, and it could have been a bit more edgy, a bit more extreme. It was, like I said, it was flirting with it, and I was getting excited. There were these little hints of like, oh, this could be interesting. And yeah, unfortunately, it ended up being a lot tamer than I was anticipating. So I've given it a 3. There were some interesting parts. There was definitely a cast of odd, unique, alternative characters, and the bits of the magic that were shown were interesting to me. But yeah, it was killed by the regular townspeople's characters I just didn't care about, and the fact that it didn't push the boundaries as much as I was hoping it was going to. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my boobs. It's hot. When it's hot, I feel like I'm melting down. I still have to read the tarot card prompt book, and I still have space for one more book because I'm doing the 5 books per vlog. So I'll see what I'm in the mood for. I do want to finish this up tomorrow, so I might choose something short. But today is Sunday and the kids are at their dad's, so I think my ex-boyfriend is going to come over later so we can start the final season of What We Do in the Shadows, guys. This is a fantastic show. If you haven't watched it, get on it. You're sleeping, bros, you're sleeping. If you like the movie, I think the show's even better than the movie, personally. Nadia is one of my favorite characters. I also love Laszlo, so they're just a fucking power couple. I absolutely love them. Everyone is great in this. Like, seriously, everyone is great in this. This is the final season, so I'm really bloody sad, but I'm also very excited, and I have loved every season of this show. There's not been a bad one. So we're going to watch that today. I'm actually going to go and get something. I'm going to get something. We're going to eat on camera. If you don't like eating on camera, turn away. But I got a gift from my sister. It was meant to be for December, to use in December, I should say, but she's bought it for my birthday for this month. So I'll get back to you one sec. Okay, I'm back. So she got me a chocolate advent calendar because I like to do one every year for Christmas. It's from the company that she works at. It's very sort of bougie and fancy chocolate. She said when she gave it to me, Chanel, are you going to be able to wait until December? I'm like, yeah. No. She knows me too good. I cannot wait. So what I'm going to do, I thought, you know what? She bought it for my birthday. So this can be my birthday advent calendar. And I will buy myself some other chocolate calendar for December. So that way I have twice the fun. You know, it's double the joy, double rainbowing it, but with chocolate advent calendars. Oh, I've got hair on my arm. Coated myself in a rose oil today, did a bit of a beauty ritual for Scorpio season, and now I'm collecting my hairs. So I thought I'll do the first one here and eat it on camera and see what this is like. I have never had one of these from this company before. Last year I did Godiva, and it was okay, but they repeated the chocolates a lot. So I think there were only 5 types of truffles in there, so you just would cycle through the 5 types. So let's have a look. I didn't check my face before I started filming. I hope it's not too confronting. Oh, what's this first? Okay. So we've got some festive pralines, rum and raisin, Christmas pudding, and speculous crumbs. Oh, the speculous is calling my name. Okay, and we've got a list. So I'm guessing there'll be a mix of truffles, which is fantastic. Oh, not the mint. I'm like this for mint in chocolate, man, or anything that's not just a mint leaf. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. I'm excited. I feel like a kid at Christmas. This is like Christmas. Come early. Oh, look at that. December begins with the scent of a pud, cinnamon and clove, and all that's good. Okay, so I obviously am assuming that's a Christmas pudding. That's on here. Milk chocolate ganache infused with fresh orange zest, cinnamon and nutmeg, and spiked with double cask single malt whiskey and a 54% dark chocolate. Woo! Starting with the booze. Okay, where's number 1? So this is beautiful. This is so fancy. Oh, there it is. It's a Christmas pudding. All right, I think what I'll do is I'm not going to show you every day. So I'm not going to show you guys every day. I will post that on my other channel if you want to see every single one of these truffles, but I will tell you at the end of this one what my favorite was. But right now I'm going to have this Christmas pudding. I can smell the liquor from here. 'Tis strong. Look, that is good. I will say for me, the malt whiskey definitely is the most prominent flavor, and that's just because I don't drink alcohol, so therefore I find alcohol very strong. And it's not super spicy though. Like I can taste a hint of the cinnamon and nutmeg and the orange, but yeah, it was mostly, for me, it tasted a bit like a malt whiskey chocolate truffle, but really good chocolate. So fucking excited. I wonder if every single one of these is something different, and it sounds like that because they've all got different little poems. That's so fucking cute. So what a way to go into the month of November. I will see you guys tomorrow for the wrap up.
Hey honey.
Okay guys, I'm here to tell you about the last 2 books I read for this reading vlog. So we've got The Angel's Share by Martin Cahill. So this, once again, is a tiny little shot of a story. In this book, there are angels and demons, but the angels are not your regular fluffy run-of-the-mill angels. Do they create miracles, such as winning the lottery, healing your sickness and things of that nature? Yes, they do, but it comes at a price because these angels are basically parasites, and what they feed off is the pain and suffering in your soul. So people that have experienced great trauma and loss are like magnets for these angels, and they just feed to their heart's content. Like I said, you do get some benefits, but you are basically a walking happy meal for these creatures. So you have a woman, and she has what is known as a radiance of angels. There are so many angels in her house feeding off of her. So she calls an exorcist, and this exorcist comes along and says, this is the most angels I've ever seen in my life. And there are different types of angels. And I'm fascinated by anything angelic, especially if they do a bit of a twist and something different on the nature of the angels. And this exorcist was going through the different types, and he said, you actually have 20 of this particular type. Babes, you want to tell me what's really going on here? And things take a very dark turn. This story is a lot about abuse and trauma and hatred and hurting and how sometimes it is easier to stay in that cycle, to want to live in how you were wronged and how the person who wronged you should suffer, rather than letting go and moving on, because in this world the only person that can really banish the angels permanently is the person they are feeding upon, so they have to make the decision. I really liked it. I've given it a 4 stars. I rate tiny short stories, of less than 100 pages differently, because you can't go into these expecting in-depth world building and magic systems and character studies and all of that jazz. But for a short story, I found it really fascinating. I liked the premise. I liked the topics and themes discussed and how they use these angels and their feeding to showcase human trauma and suffering. But yes, it is heavy. It's quite a heavy book, but I thought it was well done and I have given it 4 stars. The final book that I read for this reading vlog, that I chose thanks to my tarot prompt of a cover that I found the least attractive. Apologies to whoever illustrated this cover. It's just wasn't doing a lot for me, and it is Lost Boy, The True Story of Captain Hook by Christina Henry. So once again, true to Christina Henry's other books, this is a dark fairy tale retelling with horror elements. Don't go into this expecting Disney. You're not going to get it. This is Hook's origin story. The real villain in this is Peter fucking Pan. If any of you had ever thought as a child that Peter Pan feels like a bit of a dodgy cunt, then this book is for you. I always felt that way with the whole premise of the Lost Boys and taking them to Neverland and yada, yada, yada. So I enjoyed the spin on this. I also love seeing a villain sort of justified in how they became who they are. And I will say though, the first 2 parts of this was a bit slow and was a bit of a slog for me to get through, because you're just looking at Peter and his lost boys on Neverland, and there's a bit of a tension between Peter and his best boy over Peter's abduction practices. And yeah, that felt a bit slow. It felt a bit tedious. And then a character who is in the story is revealed, their true nature is revealed, and from that point things really kicked off and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. Like I said, this is dark. It's got a Lord of the Flies kind of energy to it as well. There's a lot of body mutilation. There are some other creatures besides Tink, some other magic, some other beasties at play in here. But this is brutal, guys. Like I said, with Christina Henry's, there's not really happy ever afters, so to speak. So whenever you read any of her books, don't get attached to many of the characters because the body count is high. But once again, I really enjoyed it. Every Christina Henry fairy tale retelling I have read, I've given a 4 stars. I like that they're not entirely predictable, but they've also always got some interesting spin on it, whether it's the setting or the reconstruction of the classical fairy tale character. They always pay off. This one, like I said, though, did take me a bit to get into it, but because it was the tarot card pick, I couldn't DNF, and I'm glad, because I actually don't know if I would have. I might have, because it was fine, but it was feeling like a 3-star, and normally now I do DNF books that are just feeling like 3. So this was one of those cases where it did pick up. I can't remember what page number it was, if it was before the 100-point page mark or after. But yeah, once the character's truth was revealed, it was like, oh my god, everything's happening now. Everything is going on. I smell mutiny in the ranks. But it is heartbreaking as well. This, oh my god, it guts me. It guts me, bro. And I always walk away feeling sad, but entertained. So I'll quickly run through the books that I read for this reading vlog in order of least favorite to most favorite. So we had Breathing Constellations by Rich Larson, which I gave a 3 stars. Freakslaw by Jane Flett, which I gave 3 stars. I will say too, this had a touch of a Rocky Horror Picture Show vibe to it as well. I think I forgot to mention that in my review. Little Free Library by Naomi Kritzer, which I gave 4 stars. The Angel's Share by Martin Cahill, which I gave 4 stars. And Lost Boy, The True Story of Captain Hook by Christina Henry, which I gave 4 stars. So I will leave you with some footage of my day. So today I am heading to the shopping mall to Westfield to do some Christmas shopping. I like to get all of my festive gifts done early, real early. So if I can get it all done today, that will be fantastic. But I am on a lower energy day, so I'm giving myself an hour. I'm trying to speed run it. I'm hoping they'll just be all like the gifts, the Christmas gifts will be out. I'm sure they've got all of their Christmas packages and gift packs and all that out already. So I can just be like, yes, you done. Obviously not the kid stuff because they still have to write to Santa and ask Santa what they want for Christmas, but everybody else. So we do a bad Santa situation for my dad's family and my ex-in-laws where we all just bring a bad Santa gift, put it in the middle. It's a whole game. Everyone pulls a number. You'll take turns picking either from the pile or stealing someone else's gift. So that's fantastic. But I do have to get stuff for my mum and my stepdad because they don't do that. And their Christmas function is this Sunday. So they're getting in early, and that's also what I'm looking for today, something for them. But I'll leave you here with the footage of my goodies today. And until next time, stay wild, star child. Okay, so change of plans. Valentine's friends that were meant to meet her at Westfield have cancelled. So we're not doing that today. I will need to do the festive shopping though this month. I do not like to go in December. But instead, I'm taking my ladies out to lunch. So we're just going to go and hit up a cafe. So you'll see some yummy food footage instead.
Indy's charm necklace.
You can spread it.
There's a